We Buy Any Car review from Toddy here on day 336 days of making videos in a row, mostly opening businesses and sharing the blueprints to show people how easy it is to start online businesses. But we like to do some critiques of businesses, bringing the positive and the negative. And today we went to We Buy Any Car in Grantham to sell Emily's Mini. It's got 100,000 miles on the clock. It's an old car, and yeah, I wanted to just share the experience because there's good and bad. Sarah, who was at We Buy Any Car Grantham, was fantastic. Like, in terms of customer service and welcoming, and sales is a game. Like, I love the psychology of sales and getting to know people, and we're selling something, but we're really buying something. We're really buying their service of being able to sell our car quickly. So she's in the sales game. So we're there with our son. She's getting to know us. She's playing it nice, and they have their process which they've worked out, which is good. In terms of the booking, the service and their website, and putting in your email, your number plate, and just the mileage. That's it. And then to get a quote, they've really nailed the customer user journey. Like, they've simplified everything that they can, and it makes it very, very, very user friendly and very, very easy. After putting in your number plate and your mileage, you get taken through to a process to then book in your appointment if you want to go ahead with that. And they have 20-minute slots. You can choose your day and then choose your time. And we just did it this morning. I'd done it once before, and the price was £1,000. And then today it was £920, so it had gone down £80 in their estimated value. We'll come more on to the values as we go forward. But after putting in the date and the time, they were very good with all of their email notifications, the SMS follow-up. They asked you if press Y if you are going to come to this appointment. And then I had a phone call from her. I missed the phone call and then called back. And she didn't answer, and then she called back and was just, thank you for calling. Are you coming? Yes, great. Yeah, we're coming. Just wanted to make sure you're bringing all the documentation so it's a smooth ride. Because obviously this service is about getting rid of your car quickly, which we kind of wanted to do. And we're basically getting out this house because the landlords are selling up. If you're not part of the journey, welcome if you're new. And thank you for all the lovely positive comments of late. It's nice to be not receiving negative comments. So we're just trying to do good. But yeah, she was nice, and we got there. And so all of the tech around We Buy Any Car and them making this service as easy as possible is tremendous. Like, just did it on the mobile. It's all mobile friendly. Things have just progressed so much. Like, if you just think back to 10 years ago, how clinky and clunky a lot of these services were and how they didn't flow. So I think crossed with the increased speeds of internet and the savviness of designs and speediness and user journeys of online journeys of people going more towards the mobile user journey than the desktop. And just, that's what we're designing nonconformity company websites around. We're designing them for mobile click app like functions, just to quickly get around and get what you want quickly with no nonsense. And then that will serve right for the desktop as well if people are on the desktop. So yeah, in terms of their booking and their software and their tech, like they're spot on. And so we went to the appointment and we arrived on time. I drove the van with Vito. He was loving it, driving around the corner, mama, around every bend, and then was upset when we lost her on a bend. So that was nice to see, because that was only the second time in the van. The first time I'd been in the van with Vito, the van that's just there that we're planning to get away with at the end of this month and go around Europe and rent Airbnbs and take our stuff. Hence why we're getting rid of the car. And so yeah, she was lovely. Like, she was really good. She was asking about us. We were talking about her life, talking about Vietnam and teaching she wants to go and do, and maybe, or she's done in the past. And yeah, they did all the checks on the test and everything, and then they come back, and this is their game. They're going to lowball you. We're estimated 920. And it's like, I had a quick look on Auto Trader. We could sell this privately for more. But I've sold cars on Auto Trader, and you've still got to go through the process of people basically calling you and lowballing you. You get garages calling you and lowballing you. So So, and you can do it if you want, if you've got time, if you've got not too much more going on, and you love, like a lot of people love that deal, and I love a deal. But I sometimes I don't love all deals. Like, and this is a car that's 2010, like 15 years old, 100,000 miles plus on the clock. The tyres have been going down. The service history light's flashing. The light for the lights are flashing. We just replaced the tyre. The last MOT, we had to spend nearly 500 quid on it. So it's like, yeah, Emily thought she valued it like a year ago and it was 1,000 on Auto Trade. I think it could be more, it might not have been the right, but yeah. So the 920 valuation comes back at 515, but they minus a £50, 49.99 administration fee. Hey, kitty cat. So 465. So it's about half the price. It's about half the price, which is, yeah, not great. But it's an old car, and some of the hubcap, some of the alloys were just, yeah, completely trashed. So it's like, okay. She did say like that the condition was good, but because the MOT is due very soon, like, yeah, it could be. There was somebody else we might have given the car to, but then we were just like, well, in 3 months' time, if the MOT, we had to spend 500 quid on it. You don't want to sell a car to somebody you know, family member or whatever, and then they use it for a few months, and then they go and MOT it, and then it's just, yeah, you got to spend more on it than you bought the car for. So it's always a tricky one to, yeah, buying the van recently. It's that toss up of MOT's date, service date, and mostly cam belt as well, mileage or age of year. So she did say that she upped it and she was a senior manager, but like she's just one person in a hut in Asda. So I'm not sure if that's part of the sales pitch. It probably is, when they lowball you even more and then bring it up. It's like a classic sales. It's like, here it is. Oh, it's this, but I could do some things to bring it into here, so you feel like you're winning. It's a classic sales thing. But we didn't really care. I was aware of all this and loved to witness it while playing with Vito in the car park and the cones. But it's a classic sales thing to make you, yeah, bring you back down to reality and less so, and then bring you up. So you're like, oh, so you feel really bad about this. And then you're like, oh, that's great. Got 50 more pounds of a really bad deal. And now it's just bad. But I feel better because it was a bit better than really bad. It's only bad. But in your mind, it's good because it's a little less bad, if that makes sense. So I think they're well trained. I think they want personality people, and she was fantastic. Like, I can't fault it. The service, I can't fault it. Like the streamlined kind of how speedy it is. You're paying for the speed. So if we wanted to risk selling this on the open market, I would still have people calling me and lowballing. I would still have an unknown timeline. Like, sometimes in life, you just need a timeline. We are being kicked out of this house, so we have a timeline which is at the end of this month. Before the end of this month, we need to be driving out of here, and we've got our vehicle. We've got our new vehicle. So I've sold my car to my neighbour. Emily's car we've sold to We Buy Any Car for 465. Yeah, it's less than the estimation, but they do provide a service. You know, the other alternative is selling privately. I do think there's a big middle ground, and obviously the middle ground is if you do go to a garage that knows this and has the capacity and upskill to kind of put it through its MOT, do any work on it, and then they can sell it and make a bit of money. They can do that. But I think, yeah, you just to be able to drive it down and be guaranteed to sell it is great. I do think my advice to We Buy Any Car is, like, they kind of overpromise and underdeliver, don't they? And we knew that. Like, we knew they were going to take money off. The postman came today and was looking in the van. I was chatting to him, and were quite friendly as postmen. In the countryside, the English postmen, you know them by name. They turn up at the door, they shake your hand, they introduce themselves. It's very different to the towns and the cities. It's nice. So he looked in the van and he told me about, I said we were going to go We Buy Any Car today, and he said, oh God, they'll take £70 off for a scratch. He had a mate that was 1,500 and they only offered 690. You know, so I reckon whatever that they offer, they're always going to be about, when you type in your reg and the mileage, it's always going to be about half, especially if it's an old car. Like, it's like they go through all these checks, and there's obviously going to be wear and tear on the alloys. There's obviously going to be wear and tear on the paintwork. It's, you know, but she came back and said it was in good nick. But then she said when the pricing was like, well, it's not in good condition. So again, a bit more sales tactics, but good. I respect that because I'm a salesman myself. So I love the psychology. You've got to kind of, you know, the art of sales is to negotiate and meet in the middle and make everybody happy. And she did a good job of that, you know, by reducing the price massively, but making us feel good, even though I was aware of the process. It was nice to witness and nice to see. And yeah, I just think maybe an idea for We Buy Any Car is to, because they overpromise and underdeliver, maybe like, everybody knows that. So maybe it could be just, you know, maybe if they just had their estimations, especially if it's a car that's 100,000 miles, they know they're going to bring it right down. Maybe they just bring the estimation right down. And then when you turn up, they're like, oh, this is in better condition than we thought. They might as well estimate it at the lower condition. Because she said like level 7 is like a car being bought on a truck with holes in the side, you know. So their estimations, she said, are on like showroom gleaming, you know, pristine cars, which just a car with 100,000 miles is never going to be. So I suggest that they change their algorithm to account for that. So then if we're driving down there and showing up and it's like, yeah, you're going to get 400 quid, we're like, okay, let's get it done. And they're like, oh, actually, we're going to give you 465 because it's actually pretty good condition for a 100,000 mile car, which is what she did say, and it is really. Then you'd be like, oh wow, that's a win. These guys are amazing. We've already agreed to 400, and they've given us a little bit more. They didn't have to do that, but they did. Like, how many that they're going to have gleaming reviews. So rather than having that hook of the 920, I know it's probably different for different cars and different ages and all of these things, but I think the market for older cars, they might as well just do it a lot lower. I remember when I had an Audi an Audi S3 Saloon Blue. I'd bought it new. It was only on a lease, so I didn't pay for it, but I was paying 600 a month, 599 a month. As soon as I drove it off the forecourt, I knew I'd made a mistake. And I put it in, when I was going to go to Bali, I put it into We Buy Any Car, and it was worth 32,000 because I could have just sold it into the finance, and their thing came back at like 24 or 26 or something. And some guy called me and was like, oh yeah, you want to sell that? I was like, mate, that price is ridiculous. He was like, yeah, but we can do the deal today. I'm like, yeah. So I sold that privately. I still lost a bit of money on it, but it allowed me to get the hell out of the deal and get the hell out of the UK, which I'm doing again for the third time. So yeah, just an idea for We Buy Any Car, but I can't fault the service. Like, people want to get rid of cars. Like, circumstances change. You need to get rid of the car. You want the money. You don't want the hassle. Auto Trader can be, you get people and they'll lowball you anyway. And even when you take it to the garage, my old camper van, even taking it back to the garage, and he was like, oh yeah, we'll give you this amount for it. You go there and they're like, oh, there's some mold here and this is that, and then they just reduce the price. That's the business that they're in. That is what they do. So I think whether you sell it privately, sell it back to a garage, or sell it to We Buy Any Car, their job is to make money, and they just ship them off to auctions. So yeah, but can't fault Sarah. Big shout out to Sarah, fantastic woman, and the actual service and business customer experience of We Buy Any Car was brilliant. Yeah, it was a lower price, but it's an old car and the MOT's coming up. So we could have not done this, tried to sell it privately and not done it, and not been able to get away, and not had one of our 700 jobs ticked off that we've got. Or if we kept it to the next MOT, it could be another 500 quid spend and then just be written off by the insurance. So it's got the job done, and we're thankful for that because we've got so much on to move back into this house, to move back out, to fill the van and sort the van and design the van. And yeah, so it's good and bad. I think if you've got an old car and you want to get rid of it quick, great business. They make money with the admin fees and selling onto the auction, and provide a service. I just wonder if there's a room for a business service in the middle there, with people that aren't as tech savvy, that don't want to do the auto trader or working with people, etc. And they don't want to sell it to eBay, any car or a garage, but they want to sell it. They want to get more private prices, but not have the hassle of it. I just wonder if there's a business service in the middle there of all of that. Because, for We Buy Any Car to buy it for 465, to then auction, to then, sell it on, they're going to, it should be worth 1,500, I would say, privately. Maybe a bit less because of the condition, but so there could be an argument for a business in the middle there, but who knows? I've got too many other businesses going on at the minute to be bothering with the car services, but we like to critique, we like to think and share what we're thinking. So big love to you all out there. We'll keep going till we don't need to go anymore, but then we'll keep going some more.